Alright, I'm gonna try to rush through it now, and we'll see if I can get any more insights on the development. Alright, so right now, Shane and I are working on level design. We're trying to finish most of the levels by next month at some point. And then it'll be mostly a matter of just kind of refining and polishing things up. We have all of the bosses in the game. There's a few attacks that we're still not sure of on some of them, but for the majority, they're all worked out. And most of the art is also complete for them. And they're pretty challenging, so you can look forward to that. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the kind of game you don't want to just run through and just kind of like tank your way through it. You're going to want to take your time and kind of observe your surroundings. There are going to be some like little puzzles, not necessarily puzzles, but they're like puzzles without being puzzles that you kind of have to look at how the enemies are placed in the environment and how some of the hazards are placed, and you're going to have to figure out how to get around them. And it kind of has like the feeling of a puzzle without being a full-on puzzle. So yeah, you want to take your time and not just rush through it. At least not until you get like the gist of a level, and then you can start doing the speedruns. I actually like doing speedruns on the levels after a while, like once I've been working on them for a little while. Like you'll see that you can really master some of these levels once you've like played through them a few times. So yeah, we hope we'll see some speedruns. Yes, you can slide down ladders, which is always fun. These guys aren't as intimidating as they look. That used to be lava down there, but we got rid of it and put some spikes down there just in case people weren't sure how ladders function. Because it can be kind of difficult when you're like just starting out on a game and figuring out like, okay, how does this ladder work? Are they going to allow you to get this close to a ladder and still hold on to it, or do you have to get closer to it? That sort of stuff that you kind of take for granted if you're not paying attention to it. Here's one of those little puzzles that aren't actually puzzles. Like you have to kill these guys first before you can kind of run through this area. I like things like that. It makes it a little more interesting than just facing bad guys. Duck will certainly come into play a lot in the game, so you always want to remember that that's in your toolbox. Made it to a bonfire. Those act as the checkpoints, which I understand is kind of overplayed. You know, Dark Souls has kind of done it again and again. But I think it works pretty well for our aesthetic, the kind of like tribal vibe we're going for. And once you get some of the extra abilities, it'll really help with the knockback, so you're not just like falling into lava without any way to recover. Like you'll be able to double jump out of the knockback and dash out of the knockback, which will be helpful later on. Alright, so here's the merchant. We're gonna purchase some lives, just so we don't game over on the developer Let's Play. And And his price goes up every time, so it's not as easy to just spam it. Alright, so we got our first boss here. Working on bosses is probably the most fun thing in development. It's always just super fun to come up with the designs, and I'm sure it's super fun for Shane to come up with the mechanics for him. I felt this guy earlier on was kind of not cool enough, so I added an eye to him, which I thought gave him some more character. He's just kind of like this ancient artifact that has some body horror elements. I'm gonna try not to die here. Don't worry, guys, that's surely the only death that I will have on that guy. Those coins seem bouncy, but it actually really helps when you're trying to pick them up, that they'll kind of bounce up really high and won't just fall into a pit, never to be seen again. We're still tweaking a lot of things, like the body parts that come out of enemies when you kill them. Like, a lot of that stuff can always use tweaking. Like, maybe there will be less in the final game, maybe there will be more. You never know. You always want to duck when he does that lower attack. The duck attack there is very helpful. I should have healed. That was my bad. Sorry, guys. Another thing about this area, just a small little tidbit, I've created some more props for it. Just some little things here and there just to make some of the rooms a little more interesting. We're not going to go like super overboard on that sort of stuff, but just because we're a small team of two, when there's just not a ton of time, when we have day jobs and no budget. But hopefully we can make it look a little more unique and interesting for the final game. So yeah, you gotta get that duck attack there. That's it. Just gonna try to tank through him. There's that roll. I haven't been doing the roll as much as I usually do because I'm working on a lot of levels that require dash and double jump right now. Well, there we go. We have defeated him. And there's the flex. Alright, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, I think. So I'll try to do another devlog in the future. We'll see what happens. Goodbye for now, guys. Thanks for watching.